Hey guys, welcome to the start of our Civ III playthrough, custom playthrough no less. You can call me Zero, or definitely Zero in this case, and we are creating our race, which is the Zeroan State. The short name is Zeroans, and the ship call signs will all begin with ZDV, Zeroan Defense Fleet Vessel, and I haven't set a description here. You'll join me as I'm trying to make our race special, and I've decided, as you may have guessed from the introduction video, to be not passive, but let's say follow the model of the Scandinavian countries and, you know, what was proposed for, say, an independent Scotland, or what was largely seen through, let's call it, semi-progressive Northern European political ideology, let's go that way. So, you know, the idea is to focus on culture and research and less so on war, but think of it as kind of like armed neutrality. So you keep your defense tech competitive, but you don't focus on expansion through military action. The only choices I've made so far is to reduce our brutality. So our soldiering is 0.3 less effective, and it lowers the chance of a successful planetary invasion conducted by ourselves. But it gave us 2 points back, which I've then spent on Clever, which boosts our research by 20%. So the key is to be an open trading republic, if you will. So we want to maintain good relations where possible so we can trade and profit from that trade. Tourism and culture are going to be very important for us. But as I said in the introduction video, don't think that means you're not going to see fighting or action, because combat will find us no matter what. So now we have to spend the remaining 5 points, and I'm trying to figure out how best to do that. Popularity affects tourism, which could be very useful for us, as could the amount of credits earned from trade routes. Economical boosts how quickly we gain income. Influence modifies how quickly our borders expand. Productivity could be useful. Militant affects the rate shipyards produce ships, which kind of goes against our philosophy outwardly, but if you think about it, what we really need to be doing is building, having a strong economic base through which we can build ships when we need them for defensive reasons. Likeable is something I considered as well. It gives us a diplomacy bonus to stave off war as long as possible, keep those trade routes open. Courageous helps us resist invasions. Adventuresome adds to the ship range, which again is another limiting factor that we want to seek to mitigate. Organised affects how big our fleets can be. It's a toughie. It is a toughie. Let's see what we can remove without too much penalty. Slow border growth, is that worth it? I don't know. We don't want to be fragile in particular. We don't want to be clumsy or inaccurate. We don't want a reduced ship range, to be quite frank. That stops us building our ships as big and complex as we might need. That's a morale issue. This is very difficult, actually. It's very difficult. Let's look at special abilities for a second. Engineers is interesting because it stops our shipyard production decaying, or at least it mitigates it by about 50%. Ancient gives us research from precursor artifacts, which are artifacts left throughout the galaxy, usually in orbit of planets. Starfaring was appealing to me because all star bases get the first module for free, which is very useful, and ships are immune to nebula effects, which could have some defensive benefits for us. However, there's no guarantee that we have nebulas where we need them. Unwavering means colonies are much harder to culture flip. That's not necessarily going to be a problem for us. First improvement in all new colonies is free. 50% more population, free drones. Intuitive starts with a free research, which could be interesting. Entrepreneurs, trade routes give approval bonuses to both parties and 2 extra trade routes. That's very interesting. Wealthy starts with tourism enabled and with extra credits. Adaptable means we can colonize aquatic, frozen and barren worlds. And knowledgeable starts with knowing the location of other homeworlds. That's very useful actually, combined with trade, but I also like adaptable. Because we're not going to be invading anywhere. The only colonies we'll be planting will be on neutral, unclaimed planets within our sphere of influence. This is very, very difficult. Starfaring as well, I like. I wish I could have 4. It's really between starfaring, entrepreneurs, wealthy, and knowledgeable. And adaptable, I suppose. Engineers I like as well. We're not going to have many shipyards, so I think we should go for engineers, actually. We want to get the best out of them that we can, so maybe we actually want to spend some points on militant. Wealthy, entrepreneurs, or knowledgeable. See, entrepreneurs is kind of useless initially until you've got the range on your ships to find where the other homeworlds are, whereas if you know already, then any ones that are within range of your vessels can be used straight away. I'm going to go for entrepreneurs and engineers. I think that's fairly... unless there's something that boosts research. Doesn't seem to be. Other than one that gives you 1 free research, which is a very short-term benefit. I've decided that I'm not going to go for maximum benefit with these points. I'm going to avoid min-maxing, make ourselves a bit more adaptable, I suppose. Actually, adaptable, that reminds me, I wanted that. Oh, this is difficult. We'll go back up here. If we go extra likeable for the diplomacy bonus, and we want lowers maintenance, it could be quite good. Helps us keep a standing army if we need to. Economical is also useful. Could we reduce something? I'll lower our birth rate, I think. I think that could be interesting. I'm playing it too min-maxy already because I'm supposed to be role-playing it a bit here. Let's say... let's reduce our influential statistic, and we'll reduce our fertility. It gives us 5 points back, which we can spend on improved trade, improved tourism, reduce maintenance, greater manufacturing, and we want agile, resilient, accurate, fast, organised, or observant, or adventuresome. Actually, I'm going to put it on courageous because I think resisting invasion is something that's going to have to happen at some point. These are what our ships will look like, as an example. I've already set that up, and I've set up some basic AI guidelines when the AI play this race. So without further ado, let's save that race, and onwards we go. So we want an insane galaxy. We'll have a spiral galaxy. everything default, I suppose. Victory conditions are all enabled. We'll have everyone selected. Minor races common. Yeah, all that's good. I'm terrible at this game, which is why I'm not cranking the difficulty to max. And while it's building that map, I'll continue to expand on my plans. So, any vessels below small or tiny in size, won't get the ZDV or ZDV prefix, because I kind of associate that with, let's call them capital ships. Anything smaller than that we'll treat like a fighter or a fighter bomber, and we'll give it its own designation, and we'll probably group those in small squadrons. And my plan is to expand very peacefully, focus on research and trade primarily, and I think the use of star bases to kind of secure our space will probably be a good way to proceed. So here is Zeroa. It's a class 12 planet. It's serene. It gives us 25% influence growth from this planet and plus 25% morale, so it's a very cool, friendly area of space, which is nice news for us. There's a dead world, another dead world, and another dead world in the system. We have 2 sources of gerantium, which is a good start. That's used for armor, I believe. And we do have a moon. So, first of all, let's manage Zeroa. What have we got here? Idyllic region so beautiful that living here makes people happy. There's rare gemstones that we can take advantage of as well. And a trade resource, Helios ore. It's alloyed to make metals lighter. I'm gonna drop some... I'm gonna drop a research laboratory, actually. Here. And we're gonna govern the planet as a balanced world, because it is our home world after all. Okay, what do we have? We have a colony ship. We'll rename you ZDV Pioneer. And that's a medium-sized escort class ship, which suited for mapping the stars and running away from things, so I guess it's not particularly well armed. And we also have a fighter, a scout fighter. Unarmed but quick with excellent sensor range. And we can zoom in and see exactly what that looks like and what it's got enabled. And we will rename you as well to just Scout 1. Okay, without further ado, we can see these stars that we've detected in the nearby area. The nearest 2 are here, so we're going to head out that way. And we're going to select a research topic. Okay. Xeno-industrialization gives us Xeno factory, Xeno research laboratory, antimatter power plant, and starbase factory. Leads to industrial specialization. Planetary improvement gives us Xeno farm, colonial hospital, planetary soil upgrade, and planetary specialization. Engineering, we can research interstellar travel, which gives us hyperdrive plus, prototype hyperdrive, thrusters, interstellar sensors, environmental support, perimeter scanners, adds 1 move to everything, and interstellar specialization. Orbital manufacturing gives us military subsidies, we can build a larger class of vessel, and mining barracks. Warfare gives us prototype Illyrium beam, lasers, antimatter missile, gerantium driver, advanced starbase defences. Militarization gives us Illyrium defense shield and planetary defense shield. Defensive systems gives us deflectors, shafts, and hull plating. And then governance, A universal translator opens up diplomacy, open borders and a cultural forum, and xenocommerce, construction of basic economic buildings and freighters. It's difficult. Planetary improvement could be very useful, actually. Interstellar travel obviously has benefits. I'm going to go with xenocommerce right out of the gate. We have an idle ship, which is the colony ship 1. It's going to pass a turn. And we have an idle shipyard, which is no good. I'm going to build a constructor. And we'll use that to set up a mining starbase for this Gerantium. Yet another idle ship warning. Hello. Okay, that's another asteroid belt that we can see straight out of the gate. And there's another one, more Gerantium. We're going to be fine for Gerantium, which is good, but I kind of hope to find something else. I will send the Pioneer a little bit further on. That's even more Gerantium. And more Gerantium. Split another turn. Both these stars seem to be missing planets. Yeah, that has no planets around it. This one seems to be in the same condition. So these are prime starbase locations, really. Okay. I'll send the Pioneer down to this while Scout 1 swings out to the left there. I'm afraid it's going to be a little bit of a slow start, but nevertheless we will press on. Here's some planets. Anything interesting here? A dead world and another dead world. Not exactly exciting stuff here. Okay, with that done, I guess we'll sweep outwards in a spiral rather than already going out too far in one direction. We need to get eyes on what's immediately around us. Okay, so we have unlocked Market Center, Entertainment Center, Promethean Pleasure Park, Cargo Module for ship design, Starbase Markets, and we've gained 2 trade licenses to our maximum amount. We've also got M1 freighter design unlocked. We will next do Universal Translator, actually, because those kind of go hand in hand, so that we can arrange to trade with people. That idle ship warning is going to drive me bonkers. I'm sure there's a way to turn it off, but later on it will become useful. What we'll do is we'll just set this to move, so we can keep clicking the turn. That thing's not moving particularly fast. It's another world. What's here? Another dead world. And the colony ship will keep moving. Okay, the Pioneer can come up this way. It's a lot faster than the Scout, ironically. Nothing in those asteroid belts of any worth to us at all. We're in a bit of a strange area, it seems. This massive hexagon here is the current maximum range of our ships. So as you can see, there's a lot of universe beyond that we cannot even begin to explore just yet. Ah, now that's a special planet. What's this? Ah, thulium. It's used to create advanced targeting systems, so that's another prime candidate for a mining base. So we are going to manage the shipyard, and we're going to order another constructor. Early days, I know. We want to gain access to that. Okay, the universe translator is ready. We are going to research they're quite long actually. Xeno-industrialization. Oh, we don't want idle ships around here, so you will... Actually, you're too slow for that. I'm going to send you to do this cluster over here, and the Pioneer can swing out there and then join us up. That's more Gerantium, I suppose. It is. And another dead world devoid of life. Let's head out there. Something's happening. A mysterious figure from a forgotten race has been wandering the galaxy, warning of the dire costs of war. His message of peace and unity seems to be taking root in all who hear him. Even among your most aggressive neighbours, diplomats throughout the galaxy report that their efforts are now finding much more traction. Global effect, +1 diplomacy, all races. That's a galactic event that happened at random, and it's a good one for us. Now there's a nebula here. That's good to know, because that can, of course, mask people approaching our territory, I believe. What's going on Zeroa? I'm building another research lab. He's built a basic factory, and another 2 factories have been positioned as well. It's a beautiful planet, so we don't want to trash it. Tourism, gotta get the tourism books, man. We don't want this big blind spot here either, so it's a good time actually to begin thinking about where we want, let's call it the early warning platforms, the stations that we're going to place with a military capability where we can station fighters and sort of maintain a zone of control around our homeworld. More Gerantium. I've never had a start like this. Then again, I've not played that many games. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do with this constructor is we will build a mining base, simply because building one here means it's already in our zone of control very comfortably, rather than reaching out here when we don't know what's beyond. And we'll build it there. Oh, our research is done. So now we will... 14 turns to boost our research by 10%, leads to advanced construction and institutional research. I might do that. I don't normally skip up the tree that way, but we're role-playing this mother. Here we will construct a starbase. It's our first starbase. Your people have had permanent structures in space before, but nothing like this. More than a facility, more than a place to build ships, the starbase is an extension of your very civilization. Everything you do, everything you're proud of, everything you and your people are, will exist here. That's very grandiose. Okay, and we want to add a mining ring. Nice. When we finish this turn, we'll start mining Gerantium. There we go. Your miners return with the first load of Gerantium ore. Rocky debris laced with a telltale silvery gold flicker, more dense and resilient than anything your people have seen before. It can be used in prototype armor and kinetic weapons. And there we see, doing some mining. Still nowhere to send the colony ship just yet. What's the Pioneer found? Anything? Just Durantium. Let's check out this star en route. Which ship is idle? The colony ship, okay. Our economy is doing quite well, it seems. That's another dead world, Jesus Christ. Well, no harm swinging down here. There might be another planet just beyond sensor range there, but we can pick it up on our way round to connect the dots. That 25% boost in influence is actually expanding our borders to include these Durantium fields, so that's something. Okay, you are idle. What's here? Just asteroids, it seems, but we'll... Durantium. I think we're good for Durantium, game. But I'm guessing that this is a good thing for us and that other areas might not be so densely packed with the stuff, which means we have a trade advantage. Okay, what's the Pioneer found? Dead, 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 and Durantium. We'll connect this circle and then we'll check out some of the other systems. So far, 34 weeks in, we have discovered nothing worth colonising. Which is bad news. That colony ship is very efficient at moving around in circles. There's another asteroid field. And another dead planet. I'm just going to keep hitting turn until something interesting pops up. I think we've got the basics of a strategy in position though. We do want to secure that source of thulium, and I think this inner ring actually is going to contain a lot of mining stations. So research specialization is complete. Let's go back down the tech tree to something a bit more within our reach. We're going to grab weapon systems, I think, because we've got no combat ships at this point. And we don't want to... we'd rather have that and not need it, I think. There's a ship graveyard here. We need an armed ship to investigate that, so we'll give it a wide berth for the minute. And it's a dust cloud. Minus 25% to defensive systems, minus 50% to moves and sensors. That could certainly work to our advantage, especially if we have a defensive starbase on the other end of the dust cloud. It's a nebula here with pretty much the same effect. So actually, here is a good place for a defensive starbase to catch things passing through the nebulas entering our territory. We need one down here. We'll need one up here to maintain control over these fields, and we'll need one up here. And that will be, I suppose, our inner ring of defensive stations that will extend the range of our ships and enable us to cover greater ground by basing ships at each of those points. It means we're going to need a lot of constructor vessels. I really had hoped we would have expanded by now, but I guess not. Okay, your job now is to go up here. More Durantium. And we'll scan round the side of that nebula. Okay, picking up where we left off, sorry about that. we have a new constructor ship ready, and I have off-camera queued up 2 more, because we have no military ships to build right now. And we are going to grab this source of thulium, first of all, and we're going to set up mining bases here, here, and here, to make sure we've got a good supply of gerantium for trade and our own personal use. And then either I'll begin building some early military ships, or we will begin on the defensive starbase perimeter. Let's first go up here and grab that supply of thulium. I'm very disappointed that we've not discovered any worlds worth colonizing at the moment. No, we need to go closer than that. And my other concern is that having colonies so far outside our sphere of influence could also be a problem. It means we've got a much greater area to cover with limited military resources, which is not good. So there we go. Leona 1, a class 11 planet with amazing potential. And another supply of gerantium. So that's one colonization candidate. That colony ship is still idle. Okay, we've researched weapon systems. That is good news. Let's research militarization so we can start building some planetary defenses as well, just to stave off any early invasion attempts that may or may not be coming our way. We're playing very, I guess in old RTSs you would call it turtling. You know, lots of defensive structures, lots of defensive forces, but not a great deal of expeditionary military action. There's something there because it's changing course for some reason, so that will be interesting to discover what that is. Bit of a giveaway there, game, by the way. I'm sorry it's very boring at the moment. This game is one that starts slowly and then you get a burst where things get really interesting, especially once you start connecting with other empires. So here we will build another mining base. There's the mining ring. And I'm going to request another constructor so we can build a defense system of some kind, just so in case anything pops up from over here, it's got a chance to at least fight back. There's another ship graveyard there. I wonder if we can investigate that. Your miners begin offloading their first load of thulium. Surprisingly dull looking, it's only in higher dimensions that thulium shows its true character, able to sense and be affected by objects at great distance. This can be used in prototype sensor and targeting systems. Good news for us because you want your shots to connect. Your survey ship cautiously approaches the mysterious object, all sensors set to maximal gain. A secret of the universe, the first of many, is about to reveal itself to you. Exciting. The enormous Drenging battlecruiser floating in deep space, its hull perforated by thousands of small kinetic impacts, is wholly unsalvageable. The Terran gunboat drifting nearby, however, is still in working order. The only remaining crew member's mummified remains still wraps its hands around the cannon controls, a smile frozen forever on its face. We've got an M0 class gunboat. That is good news. That's a small escort. It's a nice design as well. Mid-range shootist, I don't think that's a word. I like the TIE fighter wings. Arrayed with kinetic weapons and armour. A mean ship. That's good, because we need it. It's small, so it shouldn't really have the ZDV prefix, but I'm going to let it slide. Actually, no, I'm not. This can be Defender 1. These names will become a bit more technical later on, but just for the moment. And we're going to station this at our mining station. It is a defensive ship because its moves are terrible. It's not really one for sending long distance. And we'll let the ZDV Pioneer continue onwards. There's some more asteroids and another Durantium deposit, which we really don't need. A barely habitable Class 6 planet and 2 dead worlds. So we know who the winner is at the moment. It's a very strange shape for our initial... I hesitate to use the word empire because that's really not what we're going for, but it's a strange shape for our state to take. But we do what we can. That's 2 dead worlds. Make that 3 dead worlds. And then we're coming up on the nebula, and we're going to move through the nebula and pick up that ship graveyard and see if we can't salvage ourselves anything else interesting before we go on any further. Militarization is complete, so we will now move on to interstellar travel, I think, just so we get some more moves out of our ships, make them a bit more useful. And we have 2 more dead worlds, congratulations. Okay, you can go out and check out these arms. And the Pioneer can check out these 3 stars, and then we'll begin consolidating rather than exploring. I'm concerned there could be a planet there, but we'll go up and get these 2, and then we'll come back down to the spaceship graveyard. We have another constructor. Mining or defense? That's a good question. Mining or defense? Or culture, actually, or research. So this is where it gets complicated. We will actually put down our first defensive station, and we will put that here, which should be about equidistant between those 2 nebulas. What's the build queue look like? Good. And then we can start adding some Guardians. We'll build 2 squadrons of 3. I mean, there's no races nearby to grab these mines from us early, so... And I guess we're going to have to colonize Leono. I think it's the right thing to do, and we'll begin consolidating our territory around this sort of small chain here. We'll expand outwards and pick up these mining sites. There's a class 10 world there. So I can see us, there's sort of a V shape here, and then we've got the nebulas for some kind of limited defensive cover. That could work quite nicely, actually. It means more constructor ships, so we can build some shipyards and expand our ship production. Okay, we've got another constructor. Oh no, this is the one for our defensive starbase. I'm trying to figure out if that is the best spot for it. Kind of seems like there's too much. I mean, I could build one here to sort of cover the whole area, but I don't necessarily think that would be the right thing to do at the moment. And then over here would be another good... But then if we're building a planet here, then maybe somewhere up here would be better, actually. Yeah, maybe it's a bit too early, actually, for building that, and instead, what if we sent this up here, and we'll have a defensive station up here, protecting the boundary of what will become our territory. I think that's smarter. Okay, you are idle again, so you can head out to the fringes of your range and collect these 3. We have an excellent shielded world with plus 25% research and plus 0.3 planetary defense. That's even better. It's even better. We're expanding too quickly, I know, but we'll get a colony ship up here. The Guardians will have to be in a group of 2 because we can't afford them. And we need some more constructors. This is... we're getting busy. But we need that world. We need that world. This is going to be our production hub, and this will be where we conduct most of our research. We'll keep the home world balanced. And I guess the Pioneer is going to have to now begin working over here. But in the meantime, let's plot a course for the ship graveyard, and then we can back up on ourselves. And I think once we've colonized this first world, I will call it an episode. Because that phone call, I've completely lost track of how long I've been recording. Come on. Come on. So what I like is it's got elements of what you see in older 4Xs, where you get sort of big empires and then you get minor races as well. Okay, so interstellar travel has come, and we've upgraded most of our ship designs, which is good news. So we've got an M3 constructor now rather than M1. Let's... Iron Drive, Interstellar Survey, life support. Oh, increases the speed of all ships. Support module mass reduced by 25%, or ship range +2. Orbital manufacturing... Yes, I think we need orbital manufacturing, even if it is a long run kind of deal. Ideal for any type of colony, so that's something. Let's see if we get something nice here. I'm guessing it's probably going to be something dangerous because it's in a dangerous location by default. So this is going to be our manufacturing world, and we're going to call it the Forge. Finally, after a long journey, your colonists set foot on an alien world. Untold effort and struggle were required to get even this far, but it's only the beginning. The galaxy is full of worlds for the taking. Sure is. The atmosphere of this planet is thick with poisonous particles. It does have the side effect of causing beautiful, even spectacular sunsets, and word has spread through the galaxy of their beauty. A burgeoning tourist industry has developed, resulting in many coughing tourists ignorant of the dangers of this planet. Your colonists are getting tired of stepping over their bodies. What are your orders? Begin heavily regulating this new industry. We can't establish a reputation for killing our guests, even if it does limit the number that ultimately come. Ensure that tourists who arrive are informed of the danger and provide training courses and safety gear for anyone who needs them, but they're adults and can take their own risks. If those idiots want to choke on a sunset, why should we stop them? Hell, let's advertise for more of them to come, and also begin charging a coughing tax, and that plus 40% tourism. we're benevolent, we're going to take the benevolent route. So what we have here is rare earth metals, which is good for a foundry, which is good because this is going to be a manufacturing world. Wild grain. Ultra spice? Ultra spice, nice. All kinds of things. We are going to let the AI govern this planet, and it's going to be a manufacturing planet. The anomaly is being defended. Should we engage them in battle? It gives me no information other than that, but yes. 2 pirate interceptors. Sure, we'll view the battle. Oh wow, that run did some damage. Can I control this? Apparently I can't, but I can zoom in somewhat. Nice. Although we have taken some fairly reasonable damage, we did win. Lost scout ship. A small vessel floats dead in deep space. Upon examination, it appears to be an old model scout from a previous war. Its capabilities do not strain even the moderate intellects crewing your survey ship, but with a little work it could be restored to service. It's an M3 class scout. We will take it. What do we call Scout 1? So you can be Scout 2. It's an older model, so you'll see it has less range. And we will send it to be upgraded. Oh, we have upgraded it already, apparently. Oh, 2 turns to upgrade, okay. Command, we want this to repair. I don't know if I have to send it back to the shipyard or what. Let's... what's the difference between survey and explore, I wonder? You probably notice I don't know a great deal about this game, but I'm very, very, very new to it, but I am incredibly interested in learning more. I'm going to send it back to the shipyard. I'm guessing that's what needs to be done. Okay, we've got an ideology point to spend. We're going to go for a benevolent. Okay, grants a free, fully loaded colony ship. That's very useful. Elevation Foundation can be unlocked. Missionary Center can be unlocked. Or 150 free research points. We're going for that colony ship. And there it is. Oh, there's some nice worlds here. Class 10 or Class 30. We're going to go for the research planet. And obviously that will be the main system where our research is conducted. Here we're going to build one of our perimeter star bases. We'll call it Deep Space Starbase 1, whatever. And this is going to need some serious construction. We'll add the military ring first of all, and then we need 2 constructors to add starbase defences and perimeter scanners. And that at least gives us some defensive capability in that direction. You are going to head up here. And there's another supply of thulium down here, which is good news. Oh, that's the scout that's been upgraded. You are going exploring. And now that will auto route itself to where it's needed. That world is going to become very, very important to us, and that's another location for a military starbase, I think. We need a shipyard up at the forge as well, so we've got some serious plans to kick into for the next episode. Again, thank you so very much for joining me. I hope this slow start hasn't put you off this playthrough, because it's going to become a lot better as we go on. I'm going to load 2 population from Zeroa onto that particular colony ship, which we now don't technically need, but it's a chance to... it was this planet we wanted, wasn't it? And that can be another manufacturing hub. So yeah, thank you very, 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 very much for joining me. I'm pathetically grateful, and I will talk to you in whatever video we put up next. Who knows? Lucky dip.